All right, we're back after a pretty lengthy wait. That wasn't too bad, 10 to 15 minutes, just waiting for everybody from EG to go ahead and get themselves in the game. But it is finally going to start. This is going to be EG taking on Complexity for the Pro Dota 2 World League Tournament. This is the American bracket. Joining me is a very good friend of mine and North American Dota player. His name is Ganked. How you doing, man?
Good, good. Excited to see this game played.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. Glad everyone's here. Just waiting for some people to load in. We had some observers not quite sitting in spots, so if the game doesn't load, we might have to rehost, which would suck. But getting right into things, what are your thoughts on this game? Who do you think's going to come out on top? Do you have any predictions?
Um, I think I'm gonna have to go with EG. They really have gotten their game together. They just beat CLG about an hour and a half ago, who beat Infused pretty badly. So I don't know. EG's kind of turned it around. They're on a loss streak, but they get their act together, man. It's exciting to see.
Definitely looking forward to it. Obviously, they're still using a ringer. Beat is going to be taking the place of Melk, who is not currently back yet, but he will be soon. And I just interviewed Sam the other day as well. The interview should be up on Prodota2.com if anybody wants to read that. It's not published yet. Just waiting on the go-ahead from my superior. Going right into the ban phase, we're going to have Darkseer taken out straight away. No real surprise there.
Especially not against coL. They love Darkseer.
Yeah, definitely Fluff. Or is it Fluff or Hannah who usually plays their Darkseer? I know it's one of
And
the two.
it depends on what other hero they have, because I've seen TC play Darkseer as well. If they do a long lane solo like Sand King, or they've been running Omni Knight recently as well in their new strat with Jug. So both of the players can play Darkseer.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and take off the overlay, by the way. There we go. Okay, it just looks really strange with the overlay on. And I didn't want anybody to be like, oh my god, overlay looks so bad. Please turn it off. Yes, I know I didn't have much time to set it up. That was my bad. But it is off now, so everybody in the stream should have a nice sigh of relief there. Doesn't look too bad anymore from my end, but Leshrac also going to be banned out here. Hero's been seeing a lot of play recently from pretty much, I would say, all regions, North American, European. Definitely the two most predominant scenes who like to use him.
Yeah, it's just such a strong hero. I mean, you can push so early, even with level 1 or 2 of Edict. It doesn't really matter. You just keep pushing. You get the tower down super early.
Yeah, everything we see so far, pretty much early to mid-game dominant heroes that are being taken out. Brewmaster going to follow up for EG here as well. I don't really think there's too surprised there. Super Lady kind of falls off a bit, but his presence in the early to mid-game is just a force to be reckoned with. Also, Brood not going to be seen play taken out by Complexity at this point.
Yeah, I like that ban. EG's been running Brood in almost every game, and a lot of Europeans have been picking Brood as well. It's just such a difficult hero to deal with. You have to spend so many resources to stop him. And if you don't, he just pushes your base.
Yeah, we definitely seen the power of that before. Here that you definitely have to be worried about. Just waiting for the last two bans to come underway here. Then we're going to go ahead and see what the first three picks are going to be. And I'm excited for this game. I mean, it's been a while since I've got to cast two really high-skilled North American teams playing against each other. I think it's been at least a week or two for sure. And now we're going to go ahead and get to see these two teams going at it. Even if it is one down from EG's side, I think that Beatiz is a relatively good replacement for Melk, at least for a stand-in, you know? I mean, you're not going to have the same synergy if you have a stand-in, because he doesn't have the experience with the team as Melk would.
Right. I think that's why they were losing a little bit. They didn't have, such good chemistry with him, but in the roster change. But now he's been playing with them for almost a month, I'd say, since Melk's been in the United States. So they're starting to learn to work with each other better. And I assume he'll still be their kind of sixth player as Melk comes back to the team.
Yep, seeing the next ban come out. Going to be Invoker. Both teams kind of taking their time a bit here. Both using some bonus time. Really thinking out what they want to take out against the team that they're playing against. You don't really see that much bonus time used this early. And I like it, though, because a lot of times when I cast either tournament like Monthly Madness, I'll say some people just ban heroes just because they simply don't want to play against them. And I think that's the wrong mentality to have when you ban. So I think that the fact that they're taking so long in the first three bans means that they're much more focused on getting themselves into an advantage, or maybe perhaps baiting a pick, because Furion's still in the pool, Enchantress Shen, many of those early game threatening push-type heroes are still available for both teams. So depending on what Complexity bans here, they could potentially bait out 2 really high-tier picks.
Well, we still have a Lycan in there, and I don't think EG is going to pass up Lycan.
Well, they are going to ban Furion, so they definitely have the ball in their court right now if they want to take Lycan.
But the thing is, coL does like to play Chen, so it's kind of a trade-off. You give them a hero they play a lot, and you just take a really powerful hero. It's going to be a tough choice.
Yeah, and they definitely are thinking the same thing, not quite picking yet. Still waiting to see what they want to go for here. Also, I do want to thank everybody for watching, by the way. I know we have more viewers than normal, but I do cover all of the North American bracket of this tournament if anybody was not sure of that. Feel free to follow the channel if you'd like. I'm sure we'll have Ganked back on here along with Snoopy for those viewers who have seen previous games. I typically have him on here as well, and other pro players too. And they're going to first pick Chen. Even with Enchantress still in the pool, they're going to go with Chen. How do you feel about that?
I'm kind of surprised they picked the Chen there. Because I don't know on EG who actually plays Chen. I know Bulba did one time ringing for M5, I think it was. But maybe Beat is a Chen player, I guess.
Yeah, I think he would be the Chen player. And Complexity is going to go ahead and answer with Lycan. They still got one more, though. Yeah,
Lycan is just so good. And it's, I'm assuming that TC is going to play that hero. Because I've seen him play it most of the time. So I would assume they're going to have a dual mid. But maybe they can also jungle.
We're going to have to find out. Venomancer going to be the second pick from Complexity here. It's going to be back to EG to see what they want to go for. And picking Venomancer this early, I mean, he's a great support. He gives you a lot of map control as well, which is the spammability of play, whereas he can play defensively, aggressively. He's kind of a hero that fits all roles, but Windrunner is still in the pool as well. And I know a lot of teams value her as kind of that, not necessarily first-tier hero, but something that you would typically pick in the first 3. And they're going to completely skip over that. Do you think that EG might be looking to pick up a Windrunner here, or do you think they're going to go for something else?
I don't know so much about a Windrunner. People have been letting Windrunner pass recently because a lot of people just pick CM and the counters are pretty hard. So it's kind of tough to just stick her in the long lane against a CM. And CM's still in the pool.
CM definitely still in the pool. Taking Earthshaker, though, first. Here's a hero that we don't see too much anymore. I mean, I think it's more of a European thing now, and American teams typically favor recently running Sand King over Earthshaker, and I think that Earthshaker, honestly, unless you're going to be soloing the Sand King, Earthshaker is probably a better choice in most cases, I would say. But depending on what EG decides to pick up here, we will have a much better idea of what their lanes are going to look like at least.
Yeah, I like Earthshaker. It seems like American teams just don't ever pick him, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I've always figured, as a support, he has one of the longest initiation ranges without a blink. He just has the ability to spam and be really, really annoying, set up ganks very easily. If you have a skilled Earthshaker, one block can be a kill for free, basically. And they're going to go ahead and take Beastmaster, rounding out their first 3 picks. Just going to wait to see what Complexity is going to go for here, too.
Yeah, EG loves picking Beastmaster as well. Universe plays a good Beastmaster. They like using the Hawk and really getting the map control and staying aggressive on teams, especially with the Lycan. You kind of got to keep him down. And Roar is obviously one of the best stuns in the game, especially since it goes to BKB.
Alright, so Complexity will end up getting Windrunner and Venomancer both. So at least they have their dedicated long lane and support if they choose to lane it that way sorted out. Although I have seen mid Lycan before from Complexity. I think they did it one time. And I don't think they won the game, so I don't know if they're going to be doing it again. But it was pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, they usually, Complexity likes to run dual lanes a lot, and they'll put their dual lane middle just to be real safe and let them get farmed. So I'm guessing they want to try to get the Windrunner and Beastmaster's lane, and then have a safe lane middle. Safe lane somewhere else.
Yeah, we're going to have to
and
find
Enchantress is still there, so maybe they're looking at a late Enchantress pick here.
That's what I was kind of wondering, too. I mean, Enchantress is very, very strong against a composition like EG. I mean, you can obviously steal Chen creeps. That's great. And Impetus is very high damage output, and you don't necessarily need a lot of items on her to still have a decent mid-game. So I think that's definitely viable for Complexity to go ahead and take out here. But delving into the second bans, we have Vengeful Spirit going to be taken out by EG along with a Night Stalker. And the Night Stalker ban, I kind of get it, but maybe you can shed a little bit more light on the fact of why they took that out. I mean, it's pretty good for picking off supports, and anytime you get into a situation where you can chase, a Night Stalker is just going to be able to clean up kills much more efficiently than most heroes. But I'm kind of wondering if there's something else that Complexity might have up their sleeve that a Night Stalker would just hard counter at this point.
Yeah, you know, Night Stalker was kind of almost forgotten about for a while after his dominance at, you know, the International and the early beta. And now teams are starting to remember, hey, you know, he's got a long silence, he's got a good slow, and he's really effective at ganking and killing people.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that he's crazy tanky. I want to say most North American teams who ran him go for like the Treads, Urn, and Fast Vanguard or something like that, and just try to set up ganks simply by virtue of tower diving. I mean, his mobility is what makes him such a threat as well. And Animage DK also going to be banned out at this point. So taking the Animage out of the pool completely, maybe they felt that it was a safer bet to just go ahead and ban Animage after taking out the Night Stalker. But the DK ban is a little bit strange to me. I mean, they already have a Lycan. If they're going to be running a split push lineup, then I guess it would make more sense to just go ahead and ban the DK. But at this point, I'm not really sure what EG was necessarily going for with that ban.
I don't know. coL does love DK, so I think that was just more of a, you know, if they have a DK and a Lycan and a Venom, it's going to be really hard to stop that push.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and I know TC has been known to mid DK before, so that could be another possibility. Queen of Pain also going to be taken up here by EG. So their team is looking very kind of gang-centric, I would say. Once they get level 6 and they get a decent amount of momentum, heroes like Venomancer, Windrunner, even still are going to be relatively easy targets for a team with double stun and the amount of burst damage that Queen of Pain can put out. So I really like the way their lineup is currently shaping up. Not to mention, because of the fact that they do have Queen of Pain and Beastmaster, it allows early pushing to be a little bit easier. Like you said, the Hawk is going to contribute a lot to that, along with the mobility of Queen of Pain to be able to defend towers or push, depending on what the situation calls for. So I really like their pick so far.
Yeah, I like the Queen of Pain pick because you can see the Dire, they only have one stun, which is Shackle Shot. And, I mean, as kind of easier it is, I would say, to hit in Dota 2, it's still, you know, you still got to hit it. So having the quad, being able to blink around and using a Scream ult on someone that's bored, they can almost instantly kill someone probably. So I really like the quad pick there.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and wait for the second to last pick coming out for Complexity, taking their sweet time. Only about 12 seconds left on their bonus time, down to 3 seconds for EG2. So both of these teams not wanting to give anything away at all. Just want to take as much possible time as they can, and they're going to go with a Shadow Shaman. There's another hero we haven't seen in quite a while. But I definitely understand it after seeing the Queen of Pain pick up, I think.
Yeah, Complexity likes to run the support Shadow Shaman too. They haven't been soloing it a lot. I know Fluff plays the Shadow Shaman. So, I mean, they can still solo it with their lineup. Their lineup's still pretty open. But I would assume it's a support right now.
And wow, we're going to see a last pick of Lone Druid out from EG, so they have a lot of split push potential in their lineup. I mean, Lone Druid, once he gets the bear up to the level where it gets demolished, and you have Queen of Pain who can side push as well just by spamming waves, you have a Chen. It's going to be pretty tough for Complexity to kind of hold that down. They do have a Lycan who can sort of answer that, but I don't know, man. I think EG might have a slight edge in picks here just looking at their lineup. But we're going to have to see what Complexity takes last to kind of decide that for sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Lone Druid pick so late. Like it was kind of like a top pick in Dota 1 and in Dota 2. I think teams just, I don't know if they don't know how to play it or they don't know how to use it right. They just don't pick it.
And last pick out from Complexity is going to be Enigma. So that one, I would say, definitely more secures their overall lineup. Now they have something to kind of defend a little bit more, or they can punish even more if EG decides to play aggressive at this point. So now looking at both teams, I'd say it's a bit more even. Going to have to see how lanes shape up, though, to really see who's going to get an advantage from the early parts of this game. But what do you think? Who do you think's going to lane what?
Well, how do I think they're going to lane it?
Yeah, either team. Just whichever one.
Either team. Their lanes are pretty wide open, but I feel like EG is gonna send the quad mid, I think.
Okay, you think it's going to be
It's
a
a
long
tough
lane
call.
Beastmaster then? And they're going to protect the...
Or lone
bottom?
druid, really. I
Well,
think it
we
might
do
be a
have a
lone druid
second
long lane.
to see how the lanes are going to shape up. We'll go over the players really fast. Universe is going to be playing Earthshaker. Bulba is going to be playing that Queen of Pain, and seeing him on Queen of Pain, I assume it will be mid, so I think you're right on that. We also have EG Captain America. I believe that's Demon. Going to be on Beastmaster. And finally, Fear playing the Lone Druid as their carry player, rounding out the lineup for EG. And I think... Oh, I missed one. Beat is. I'm sorry. Beat is ringing out, so I only named 4. Beat is not actually on EG, though. Just being a ringer. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to skip over you. And then for complexity side, we have IX Mike 88 playing Venomancer, Fluff and Stuff on Rasta, a.k.a. Shadow Shaman. Jo going to be playing Windrunner TC on Lycan. And then Hannah Montana going to be playing Enigma. And what it looks like is this is going to be a solo mid Windrunner. Jo is playing Windrunner, which I don't think I've seen very often out of complexity. How about you?
Not out of complexity, but Quantic has run Windrunner mid a few times with Painted Gold, and it works out decently. I think they want to challenge the Quapit runes, one run to runes if they need it.
Yeah, they definitely could with this lineup. You can see some wolves running all over the map trying to scout things out, see if complexity can get a hint of what EG's lanes are going to be. But looking at it so far, we do have Fear going to be bottom lane, once again playing that Lone Druid with the defensive jungler Chen. And we are going to have a pause. Wouldn't be North American Dota without a pause. I'm sure you know just as well as I do.
Absolutely not.
Universe still kind of hanging around mid. Bulba going to be going mid on Queen of Pain up against Jo's Windrunner. And this one, I'm still pretty sure Queen of Pain has a slight edge here, just because of the ability to harass.
I think so too, but Windrunner has a lot of range, so you can kind of stand back. It's going to depend on the block, where the block ends up. I think in mid, because if it's the Queen of Pain side, he could just run down the ramp and shadow strike the Windrunner.
Yeah, this is something.
He's got to run up.
This is something a bit interesting too, is the fact that, I don't know about you, but I think that Radiant side is about 5 times easier to block than blocking Dire side if you're mid. It always feels like if I'm Dire side and I block, and I feel like I got the best block in the world, my lane's still on the other person's hill. It's just like no matter what you do, you just can't outblock Radiant side.
Yeah, I think the creep do meet a little towards the Radiant side, towards the bottom of the ramp. I'm not exactly sure where they meet, but I think it favors the Radiant side.
Well, Jo did kind of fumble his block a tiny bit, so it will be in favor of Bulba. And I mean, look at that. Yeah, see, it's just going to be so far in his favor. I mean, he did.
It's fine to let that one creep go, though, a lot farther, because now he can deny it, and his lane will push a little bit.
Yeah, that is going to help him out just a little bit. But looking at how the lanes are going to take shape, obviously, Demon's going to be having a hard time up here. He'll be soloing against a Rasta, who's going to be played by Fluff and Stuff, and then the Venomancer in the side. And no wards were purchased here that I can see. So these sentries are not going to have to be utilized for that, which means it can be used for counter warding. That's definitely nice for complexity.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised at Complexity's lanes, because normally Fluff is not the solo hero, he's more of a support hero. And he's kind of taking the solo, and they're letting the Lycan jungle. I guess they think he could jungle better than Chen, which is obviously true, because he can farm a very fast Vlads and then go Roche.
Yeah, that's definitely important too, because they are Dire side. They have that little bit of a Roche advantage just because of the map positioning. But looking at this bottom lane, we can see Universe doing some stack pulling. I don't believe this lane was warded either. Hannah just sitting at the tower right now. And this is honestly, at least for complexity, their long laners are going to go in favor of their team for sure, because Enigma can actually deny creeps on his own. He can farm a lot better than a Beastmaster can solo against 2 ranged heroes. And if he gets caught at all, I mean, he's either going to be dead or get very, very low and be forced back to the tower.
Yeah, I really like setting Enigma bottom, because he's going to be denying one creep every wave for the solo bear to not farm. And, if they do go on him, those 6 Eidolons are no joke. Like, they do a lot of damage, so they got to be careful when they do go on him, because he could also get a kill as well.
Well, seeing EG's lineup, I would assume they're going to be wanting to apply early pressure to the bottom lane. And right now it's currently very heavily pushed in favor of complexity, so going to have to wait for the next couple of levels to see how they're going to react to that. But another thing, too, that with the Windrunner mid is that hero's very hard to gank, even with a Queen of Pain, I mean, you can simply win run past your tower. And Chen, unless he has a net creep, which he might actually be able to get another one right here, that's pretty much the only thing that I feel could seal a for sure kill. And it might even require Earthshaker's assistance as well if they want to try to gank him mid.
Yeah, and EG is actually going to be losing the early game because their Enigma, for coL's Enigma is farming, whereas the Beastmaster is not going to farm anything. So the trading there, and trading farm with the Lycan and the Chen isn't a good thing. So the Chen's really going to have to roam around to get kills instead of farm.
Yeah, very well put. But there's another thing to keep in mind, too. I mean, Fear's going to be getting free farm. And Lone Druid is a absolute terror in the later parts of the game. If he gets a good start, gets a fast Radiance, and then is able to pretty much just free farm and push towers, I think that's kind of what they're banking on for EG's lineup. I mean, at the very least, even if the Beastmaster doesn't get great farm and the Lycan gets pretty decent farm, they might still be able to contest Roche because they are running kind of a defensive tri-lane here with the Chen and the jungle for their side. So it's not going to be as easy for TC to just walk his way over there and smoke it and kill it. So that's kind of a good thing, I suppose, that EG has for them right now.
But the thing is, EG only really has 2 spells that can block the black hole. So if the Enigma rushes a BKB, only Roar can stop his black hole. And if they're roaring the Enigma, then that means the Lycan's going to be able to run around the team fight and pick off people. So it's going to be an interesting to see what the Enigma goes, because I've seen the Enigma go max as well.
Oh, we're going to see some action on top lane. Demon's going to get caught out a tiny bit here. He does have boost fluff and stuff, throwing out the lightning. Already used the Gale, and they're waiting on the Shackle, but in the meantime, somebody else dies bottom, so a 1-for-1 trade. First blood is going to go to Fear. Looks like Hannah was playing a little bit aggressively right there, and there was a rebuttal kill for Complexity, taking out the Beastmaster top. So as soon as the action happened, it was pretty much on the opposite sides of the map. Sorry, guys, couldn't catch them both. You only got to see one of them.
Yeah, I was actually watching bottom. Vitas just smoked over with a troll. I don't even know if he smoked, actually. He just netted the Enigma, and Fear picked up Orb of Venom on the Syllabear. So even though the Fissure didn't block the Enigma, he was still able to kill him with the slow.
Yeah, we just saw how fast that tower died bottom. That first 2 tower just immediately dying after the Enigma went down. Hannah's going to be forced back here once again. There is a net creep, too. So that means if he gets himself into an unfavorable position, he will be dead for sure. And this could be 2 quick towers for EG, and this is the kind of start that they were looking for. I'm not sure what Complexity's going to be able to do.
have to let this go, and that's real good for EG, because they have 2 towers, and then they're still like, pretty much free farm the jungle, because there's no, unless there's smoke ganks, they're not going to be able to get there fast. And that allows the Chen and the ES to put pressure on mid and top.
Well, we're going to have to see how it works out. I mean, getting those 2 tower kills that fast, like you said, supports are going to be able to roam all over the map. And even though Demon did die once, I think he died going to the shop to get his boots. I'm pretty sure that's why he got picked off there. But I think that he will be more than happy with that trade after seeing that his bottom lane ended up getting 2 towers and the first blood too.
Yeah, now the Venomancer finally comes back to help defend, but EG's now just going to rotate and probably take mid tower and try to take mid first.
And we will have one more pause. And now, this is kind of what I was saying. It's just a matter of when EG gets a kill, they're able to pressure lanes much harder in an earlier phase than Complexity can. I mean, yeah, they killed the Universe top, but they can't really pressure too much until the Rasta hits 6. And the Rasta is 6 now, but he just barely hit it. I mean, he's 58 into his level.
6. I think coL should be counter pushing right here with Lycan, and Venomancer should have just stayed top. They gave away 2 towers, but and they should have at least been able to take the tier 1 up top.
And we'll take a look at the gold graph really fast. As you can see, a huge spike up in favor of EG at this point, getting close to about the 2,000 gold mark. And experience is looking like it's slightly in favor of Complexity, over 300, which is obviously nothing at this point in the game. Nothing really too concerning, I'm sure, for EG's side. Lone Druid's going to be almost level 6. He already has 2,260 gold. That's going to be a very fast relic if he continues this pace up, and that's something that Complexity just is going to have a very hard time dealing with. Looking at their heroes, the Enigma's not going to have his BKB, like you said. If he rushes it, it's going to take a very long time for him to get that. And Radiance Burn alone is a threat to a lot of the heroes on Complexity.
Yeah, and the CS is actually pretty even. I'm surprised. TC's leading with Lycan with 36, but the tower is obviously the bigger advantage here, so they should even it out soon.
Well, we're going to find out. And people are saying that I don't have in-game sound. I mean, obviously the stream's delayed, but there should definitely be in-game sound. I will actually turn it up right now. Let's see, audio, game volume, there we go. Okay, obviously I won't be able to tell right away, but at the very least you guys should be able to hear the game sound now.
And here we go. TC's rotating top. I think now the Fluff 6 are going to try to take this tower.
Yeah, there's currently 4 from EG bottom lane. No TP on the Queen of Pain or the Earthshaker either. Fear's still farming the jungle. And Chen obviously not going to be carrying a TP at this point. And now they're going to be looking to pressure this. As you said, the wards go down. This tower's going to be taking quite a bit of damage, but there's just no reaction. They're going to use the Glyph, though, which honestly I don't really think is going to accomplish too much. We can still see some EG rotating to top lane. Earthshaker and Chen both on their way, but yeah, this tower is very dead. There's just something he can do. Can't deny it.
And they were smoked, but the clock came out of smoke in middle, so they should know that, and they should probably be careful mid. They're top.
Yeah, they're going to back up. TC had his ultimate, though. I'm not sure if they could have necessarily killed him. I mean, Beastmaster wasn't even 6. And the Lycan was the one who was a bit extended there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they
Oh,
could
and
have
Hannah's
killed
getting
him.
chased down bottom lane by Fear. One auto attack through the trees. I just barely caught that at the end. Fear chasing him pretty much all the way through the lane, picking up phase boots and just right-clicking up a storm. Now we can see Complexity and EG both rotating towards the middle lane. Chen, Earthshaker, and Queen of Pain here from EG, while Venomancer, Windrunner, and Rasta are here from Complexity.
Yeah, they should be able to hold this off with Venom wards, even though Chen did have 2 creep. And EG has a nice, EG has a nice offensive ward at the bottom lane, so they can see the ganks coming on Fear, and Fear will just keep pushing up, and then he'll run back and farm into the woods.
Yep, definitely great ward placement. And man, he is just so fast. Phase boots in his human form with the rabid buff is just absolutely insane with speed. Almost 400 at the 8-minute mark, and that's definitely how Hannah kind of got ran down there. Also, Orb picked up on the bear too for the extra slow. Sorry, man, go ahead.
Yeah, you picked that up early, and it's really good. I'm surprised to see no boots on a bear just to catch up, but he did get the early levels in Rabid, which is really good. And Venom's ward actually just saw the ES and Chen smoke, so it's going to be another wasted smoke by EG.
Yeah, hopefully Complexity can avoid this gank. It would be very good for them, but Jo is still kind of playing a little bit up here. There is a net creep, but they are going to have it wasted and just choose to try to push down this mid lane and top. We're going to have Beastmaster being forced to use a roar. Can he get the TP off in time? I believe. No, he can't. And the Hex is going to go off. The roar not lasting quite long enough. Here comes TC, and there's the Shackle too. Auto attacks going down, and the Lightning from Fluff will go ahead and pick up that kill. Now mid tower is going to go down too. Currently 4 from EG here. Fear joining his team as well to make sure that they can get even more of a gold advantage. And this top lane already has first tier tower dead, so Complexity can't really react to this aside from killing Demon. I mean, that's all they can do.
Yeah, that actually wasn't too bad on Demon's part. He just put pressure and made 2 heroes gank him top, and then they just took the mid tier, the mid.
Oh, and Imda's pop too. Ix Mike might be in a bit of trouble. He doesn't even have boots. There's a combo coming out from Bulba. One more auto attack. He does get killed, but no one is even close from Complexity to back him up. So that is going to be a free kill for him. Currently 3-2 at just below the 10-minute mark. And Hannah finally finding some time to himself to farm a bit here. He's got a Soul Ring in level 7. Finally catching it back up a bit. But Fear, 2,400 gold. I mean, now if he wants to buy a relic, it certainly wouldn't be too bad after at least having some mobility items with those phase boots. I think it would be a bit more expected.
Surprisingly, the gold graph is only 1,000 in favor of the Radiant. I would think it would be more, but TC's just been free farming the jungle. They should set up and do a Roche very soon. They kind of are going to need that in the fights.
Yeah, you can see them counter-warding and warding around that spot too, just to make sure that there's no vision. But again, this ward right here kind of serves a double purpose. If anybody comes to Roche from that lane, they're going to be able to spot it as well. So very, very nice ward placement from EG. Universe and Chen both going to be in this bottom lane. Do they have a smoke? No, they do not. So you can see Fluff continues to pressure as well top.
Yeah, you can see there's 3 bottom with that ward in the bottom lane and 1 mid, so he was free to go up and do a little harassment. He probably should have kept pushing a little bit more, but probably worried about the roar and some TPs, ganks.
Well, I think their goal right now is, like I said, simply to just protect Fear as long as they can. I mean, once he gets his Radiance up, he's not going to need as much protection. And apparently it is against the rules to send your bear back with Chen or something. Or they're fixing it. One or the other.
Interesting.
I didn't even think about that, actually.
Yeah.
That's actually a really, really good combination.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You send it back and then you just return it and heals full life. Pretty good combo.
Not too much action going on right now, though, unfortunately. Poor Venomancer still doesn't even have his boots. He's trying to walk around in the forest, get some vision up for his team. Hopefully he does have another ward on him. Maybe looking to ward up the Roche spot again, as this ward is right about to die in a couple of seconds. Putting in Plague Ward in the Roche pit. Let's look at items really fast just to see. So Shadow Shaman is going to be going for his Drum of Endurance. He has it in the stash right now, just waiting on the chicken. He also has his Mana Boots finished with the wand. Bulba sitting on a wand. Null Talisman, about 1,800 gold with his bottle. He's going to go ahead and pop up an Invis. And right now, TC is going for Roche. Bulba's going to come in to scout it out. I don't believe they have any sentry. No, they don't. And the combo from Bulba just instantly killing Venomancer using the Scream and Sonic Wave to pick up the kill. Now, TC needs to be careful. Oh, nice shackle, though, from Jo from the high ground into the tree. TC's just going to choose to run, though. Doesn't want to throw off any auto attacks. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. It looked like he might have been able to kill him, and now the bear is just running into Complexity, trying to hold everybody away. Going to see another shackle go off on just the bear. Not going to make contact, though. TC goes back into the Roche pit. He has his medallion, too. And EG really want to contest this. There's a stun on the Fluff. Fissure not quite blocking him in the right direction. Wards go off. Bulba is hexed. A nice shackle, though, between the Chen and Beastmaster. And now Chen's trying to run out of here. That's going to be a kill for the EG team, getting the Rasa kill right there. And Black Hole goes off, manages to clip just 2, and now EG is on the run. Desperately trying to get out of here, but not going to be too effective in that regard. 3 down for EG, and only 1 going down for Complexity. And now for sure, they can go ahead and pick up this Roche kill.
Yeah, that's the power of the Hawk. I mean, they could just camp it over Roche, and they can see coL doing it. I thought Fluff should have just warded Roche, and they could have taken it, but he ended up warding, and Enigma hit a good black hole on 2 heroes after the Fissure was used. So they were able to win that team fight, which was really good, and that's kind of something they really needed to do.
Well, I think I've seen more than one game won or lost at Roche. Not to say that the game's over it by any means, but those fights usually scale the odds in one team's favor very heavily. You don't typically see one team getting out with 3 heroes and the other team getting out with 3. It's usually the entire team dies and you get Roche, or it's a very one-sided matchup right there, like we just saw, a 3-for-1 and a Roche kill. I think Complexity is going to be more than happy with that. Yeah,
absolutely. They're such critical fights, and you know, they killed off the Rasta, but he already dropped his wards and used all his spells, so that wasn't that big of a deal, and I think they killed Venom as well. So the 2 that coL lost were really
Oh yeah, they killed Venomancer before the Roche fight even happened, I guess.
Right.
It was a 2-for-4, or 2-for-3 rather.
But I mean, coL will gladly make that trade.
You see a Glyph using this bottom tower. More TPs coming in. We can see that Queen of Pain is going to TP. The tower gets destroyed, though, by Lycan. TC running into the back. Now Boba blinks in aggressively, throws it a Shadow Strike in the immediate route onto Hannah. Are they going to get him? They will finally get him with the help of Chen's nuke. And now TC just cuts out the back and is going to get the heck out of there. Simply cannot fight against 4 members of EG.
Again, that was kind of a smart trade. Actually. You only lost Enigma, and you got a tier 2 tower that the Lycan last, or the tier 1 tower that the Lycan last hit, and he just, you know, scooted off the back. So now they're gonna rotate mid and take mid.
Yeah, this is really nice play from Complexity because they force so many TPs. Like you said, they just can't defend against it. Now we have Complexity pushing the mid tower for pretty much free, and wards are going to be used top. This tier 2 top is going to fall as well. But EG just wants to go for the base. They already were committed to a lane that had no towers left, so really the only option is to push the base. Gale will go off, hit Sphere. Shackle goes between 2 creeps, not going to latch anything very successfully right there.
Yeah, well, they know there's no black.
Oh, roll around to Ix. Mikey's going to get fissured as well, and he gets force-staffed out of the way of the ultimate from Queen of Pain. Manages to live. Universe will get hacked. They just want to chase him out, though. I don't think they want to fight this, but TC goes in. He's trying to get the kill. The Chenil barely saves Demon, and he manages to TP out. Fear will get out with his life as well. The chase is currently on. Beat is running for his life. He does not have a TP. There's a shackle. The medallion is popped, and now TC wants to get in range. Really nice movement there, ensuring he was in front of the fissure, knowing it was going to come out, and the Wolves will eventually take out Beataz. Universe still trying to get away here. Doesn't have a TP either, and I think that TC wants to try to cut him off, using the Wolves to scout in front. Going to go ahead and put him. Let's see if he can get a little bit of a block off. He's trying. Oh, he's blocking a little bit. Hannah will get a range to drop the Malphite. Really nice play from TC and the coordination from Complexity. Showing to be quite powerful in that exchange. Chasing them all the way out of the base and managing to pick up 2 kills for it.
Yeah, it was a great response by coL. I think EG kind of overextended. They went for the Venomancer, and Jo just had a great force staff him away from the Quapple. And at that point, EG should have just ran, and they kind of stuck around a little bit and got picked off one by one.
Well, we can see where that golden experience was slightly close. It is not anymore. Over 5,000 in favor of Complexity for both experience and gold. We can see that the item discrepancy is growing quite a bit as well. TC has his Necronomicon level 1 purchased. He literally just bought it. Fluff and Stuff has his drum finish, getting an Ogre Club too, likely going to be rushing for that BKB. Force staff that we saw used by Jo on his teammate. Ix Mike to save him from that Queen of Pain ultimate. There was just so many nice little things that Complexity did in that last fight. I was just really, really impressed with how they coordinated that.
Yeah, and they delayed Fear's relic by so much. When they were moving around pushing, he just actually picked up his relic at 17 minutes when I think he had 3K at like 12 or 13 minutes. It was really crazy. So good job by coL to delay that.
Yeah, it is still pretty early relic, though. I mean, given his start, Fear might have actually had it sooner if the team fights were going a little bit more favorably for EG, but you're definitely right that they've been delaying him quite a bit. Now we can see Bulba on this top lane, trying to push as much as he can. Got to remind people that this is a casted game after all. Would very much appreciate it if there was not too much spam in the game.
It looks like Sam's going to say...
There's a giant ancient stack here,
cheap
too.
stick.
On EG's side. Using the Beastmaster. Axes do damage to Ancients, by the way. They're just trying to give all this farm to Fear, I would assume. Getting a lot of experience in gold right here.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of the American teams more so have been stacking the Ancients and letting their 2 supports do it. Mostly when teams have Venomancer, they stack it 3-4 times and then let Venom place his wards and have the 2 supports, catch up in levels that way. And I think it's a really smart strategy to do.
Well, now here's one question. Now that almost all the outer tier towers are down, I mean, there's 1 tier 2 middle, there's 1 tier 2 bottom for EG. Now, once those towers are down, do you think it's going to be harder for Complexity to push the base, or do you think that with Rasa it's going to be easier?
I think it'll be a lot harder because EG has enough spam with the Fissure, the Scream, and the Axes to stop the pushes. Unless coL has a pipe, and I don't see any hero that's gone pipe yet. So unless they have a pipe, I think it would be kind of tough to push in. But I would assume coL would like to start forcing fights. Lycan has a Necro book, and he still has the Aegis. So I would like to see them, maybe try to put some pressure on those 2 towers left. They still have roster wards up, They got a mech on the Enigma, so they could definitely take team fights right now and possibly towers.
Yeah, Hannah, speaking of mech on the Enigma, he is so farmed considering the situation that he was in. I mean, considering he was the long laner, it's less than 20 minutes in he has his mech and 2,000 gold with his Soul Ring. And he has Belt of Strength too, and I wonder if he's going to make that into a Necronomicon as well. I know some teams have kind of been fiddling with that. Oh, actually, big smoke up on middle lane. They're going to go 4-man gank Jo. There's the Beastmaster Roar and the follow-up from Universe. I don't even think that hit him. I think he died before the fissure even animated.
Yeah, he died really fast, but the good thing is coL still should be able to hold this off. They got wards up so they can use them defensively, and again, they still have the Aegis, so they shouldn't be too worried.
Well, EG is going to be pressuring this middle lane. Fear is currently level 12. Radiance is also down the Baron. It's going to go down here. They do Hex Fear, but they're going to be forced to get back. There's a Fissure, and Fear. Oh, nice Black Hole. Managing to catch 3, but Bulba chasing the rest of Complexity off. They're coming back in. There's the Chen Ultimate 2, and Venomancer ult is popped, only managing to hit Fear and his Bear. Currently 2 down for Complexity. Bulba's getting chased out with the Hex on. TC throwing out the auto attacks. The kill will go to Venomancer. Now he's going to turn around and go back onto Fear. TC still does have that Aegis. The block actually separates him from his team. 3 Complexity members up on the hill chasing Fear out. He's going to try to health potion and just retreat and will escape with his life somehow. That Fissure was not the most opportune placement, I must say.
No, I got unlucky with the Fissure, but it also...
Fear's actually going to go back in. Still Radiance burning on Fluff right here. Wants to get out. The Shackle from Jo assisting his teammate. Going to throw out a scouting power shot. It's going to clip Fear. Now he needs to be really careful. TC still here as well. 4 from EG still alive. And that middle tier tower will go down. Did that get denied or did it get killed? It got killed by Beastmaster.
It got killed. It was such a good black hole by Enigma, and they didn't really capitalize on it because the quad blinked forward and kind of zoned off the team. So the roster was forced to deal with the pop instead of going up and helping the Enigma. And by the time black hole was off, you know, ES was able to ult and Chen was able to heal, so it allowed them to win that fight. They need to do a little better job of helping the Enigma when he hits a good black hole like that.
Well, I think it was a little bit of just crazy timing because as soon as that happened, Bulba blinked in, threw out the wave, and it was just so hectic. I mean, both the supports, IX Mike barely got out of there with any HP, was forced to run away and then come back in. He only hit his ult on 1, so yeah, it was just a really strange fight overall.
Yeah, I think Jay was still respawning then because the power shot would have been done a lot of damage to all 3 of the heroes in the black hole. But a good thing for coL is Aegis was not used, so they can go up top and still defend this top tower.
I think they're definitely going to. TT going to be coming in here. Spray goes off. Enigma's here. Now Fear's going to get caught out. There's a medallion, and look at how fast he drops to that Lycan ultimate damage. Has a Necronomicon pop to that Shackle, latches Bulba to the tree. Unbelievable. He tries to get sent back, but Beatus is going to pay with his life. There's another Shackle, but this time of the Shadow Shaman variety, and that is a double kill for Lycan. 3 for 0. Currently 9, 2-11 in favor of Complexity, and they're going to be chasing down these Chen creeps too. That was crazy Shackle, man. I cannot believe that actually stuck.
That was real nice, and this can probably be a lot of damage on the racks too. They're probably definitely going to take this tower with wards, but
yeah,
they might be able to hold off racks.
Axe is coming out, trying to delay the push as much as they can. There's the Howl. Wards do go down. Plenty of damage being done to the base of EG right now after the glyph wears off. And now they might be looking to try to take a full racks here. There's still 6 seconds like Queen to Pain, but they're going to play it safe, man. Complexity backs out.
Yeah, I think that's a smart play. They just want a big team fight. They don't want to overextend, even though the roster has BKB. Black Hole, he didn't have enough mana to Black Hole, even though he can Soul Ring and use it. But it's definitely smart to just take the tower, back up, keep farming. You know, Roche is back up, set back up for Roche, which it looks like TC is going to go do right now.
Yeah, and I love the way that the way that Complexity did this, because if you look at the map now, that lane was super pushed in top, and the lane mid is kind of pushed in their favor, but it's going to be evened out here in just a second by Jo, so that allows TC to be able to get into that Roche pit a lot easier, and there's no warding at all. Perfect timing from Complexity, throwing down the sentry as well to ensure that there's no vision of them getting that Roche attempt in. And Universe has his blink too, so if they did have vision, it would be a little bit, I guess, even in terms of being able to team fight, but we're going to have to see how it goes. The first Roche fight did not go well for EG. We'll see if they can make a second one happen.
Yeah, they're doing a good job here too with denying the Hawk.
I mean, you see the Plague Wards, yeah, it's just going to die again.
Yeah, Jo sniped with a power shot the first time, and Ice Mike sent a Plague Wards to try to not let them get any vision, and he already has sentries up in case they ward. So they're definitely looking to force a team fight, maybe.
Yeah, between the time that the last Roche fight occurred, Fluff and Stuff also finished up his BKB. Earn picked up on Venomancer, also sitting at level 10. We saw the use of the Blink Dagger and Black Hole by Hannah Montana in the last team fight middle. And I'm just looking to see who else has anything of note. So Beastmaster got his Vlad's 5-man smoke up, by the way, from EG, and Hex finished on Bulba. That's actually going to be huge. If they can manage to pick off somebody like Lycan or even the Rasta or Enigma, I think the fight's going to go pretty well for them.
Yeah, it's tough because unless ES initiates, it's going to be hard for them to pick someone off here. And they're both going to smoke into each other, so this is going to be real interesting.
Yeah, they're going to run right into each other. Hannah's going to be out first, and Beastmaster sees him, immediately hacks Android. A bit of overlap there, but the Blink Echo Slam just completely disintegrates the Venomancer and Enigma, and now Windrunner drops too, and Complexity is completely on the run. BKB popped by Fluff. Going to be able to TP out that Echo Slam, and the Roar with the Hex just cut them to pieces, man. Unbelievable. And that was honestly, you can't even really blame Complexity for that. It was just kind of that reactionary moment where one team got a slight bit of an advantage. They saw Hannah come out right away, and they just abused it, man. That was just so not good. And because of the fact that they do have a Syllabear 2 with a Relic on his bear, this Rax is just done for.
Yeah, it was real unfortunate. I don't know if Hannah should have really been leading there. Because if they say went on the Rasta and he managed to get off BKB, the Enigma can blink in Black Hole. But they just should have even the Venomancer lead because he can just ult, and then if he dies, it's not a big deal.
Man, I just cannot believe how fast that Venomancer dropped, man. Only 1,000 HP. Poor IX Mike.
Yeah, those.
And that was only level 1 Echo, too. That was really strange.
Yeah, level 4 Aftershock there. I think he hit 2 or 3 heroes. There's a creep wave there. You know, real good Echo, real good pop ult on top of that. And that just won the fight completely.
Well, EG is going to go ahead and back out, take their win. Currently, it is 12-11 in favor of them after getting that bottom Rax. Ranger Rax looking a little sore too, and with that Rax down, it's going to make things a little bit more difficult for Complexity to kind of get themselves into a position to do Roche. As we can see, EG is currently kind of formulating up here. Bulba going to eat some Gale from Venomancer. Also using... Did somebody pick up a gem on their team? Yep, Beastmaster has a gem. Okay, I was waiting to see. And then going to use that Hawk to counter ward everywhere.
I don't know, coL shouldn't be smoking outside their base. I'm pretty sure they're not inside their base. They gotta just assume that Hawk is always on them. Or always, you know, close enough to them to see it smoke.
Yeah, definitely something important to keep in mind. Fortunately, the last time they were around this point on the map, they used the Flashlights of the night. They're going to catch out Demon, though. Beastmaster's in a lot of trouble getting Malthus. Midnight Pulse, Shackle, everything pretty much besides a kitchen sink being thrown at him, and he is forced to buy back. Does not want to give Complexity that opportunity to Roche. TC used his ultimate, though. Not a very long cooldown by any means, but something to keep in mind. He also has his Necronomicon level 3 with 2,800 gold. Might be looking to make a BKB just for that extra team fight boost. Or might go for a more damage-oriented item. We'll have to see, though.
I think a BKB would be pretty smart right now. Especially since, you know, ES has 3 stuns if he gets close enough to him. It could just really lock him down in the fight. So you don't really want to let that happen. You just get the BKB, you know, pick off a couple heroes while you're BKB'd. And if they choose to roar you, you have your teammates behind you. So.
Yeah, and this is really kind of good for EG because the more they pressure the map, the less that they can abuse heroes like Rasta and Lycan to kind of just split pushing them down. Now they're just going to go ahead and try Roche for themselves. Double damage popped by Bulba. He's going to be right-clicking up the Storm here, and Fear is doing a ton of damage of his own. Complexity knows that the Hawk is on the high ground, spotting out what they can from Complexity. TC sitting on the high ground, gets fissured though. The Hawk Vision completely stopping them from getting in. Hannah Montana blinks in, and he gets hexed right away. Doesn't have a BKB. He's just going to go down here. That is one pretty much suicide for Complexity. The Roar's going to go up on the Fluff as well. He does get his wards off, though. Gale will hit pretty much everyone. Chenil comes out straight away with the mech as well. Fear still very high on health, chasing down IX Mike. Shackle from the high ground. Jo going to latch Demon to the tree in the pit. A couple more auto attacks is going to pick him off, but Venomancer also dies in the meantime. And now Bulba, with the help of Chen on the opposite side of the river, managed to pick off somebody. I'm not sure who it was. But there were kind of 2 skirmishes going on at once right there.
I think they got the Lycan, actually.
Oh, they killed the Lycan, so that's definitely good. He's forced to buy out as well. Bottom lane pushing in favor of EG, and this was looking pretty good for Complexity just like 10 minutes ago, man, and has completely swung around.
That's what happens when towards the late game you get one good fight like that Echo that killed 2 or 3 people, and it just completely turns the game. But the same thing can happen with a black hole. So if he end up, you know, blinks in and gets the pop and the Beastmaster, they can also turn around and just get racks with Lycan.
Yeah, Fierce using his fair to try to kill the Rax. The Gale does miss after the Hex goes off. Shackle not going to latch to anything. Fluff going to get rooted in place. He gets taken, or Hexed as well. He's going to use his Shackle. Oh, no, he didn't get Hexed. He was just Shackling. He did not get Hexed. That is going to be a kill. There is an Aegis, though. Fluff and Stuff also going to be dropping in the meantime. And now Axe Mike trying to get out of here. The Bear is still Radiance burning up a Storm. Another entanglement. And that is going to be pretty much a free kill.
Mike is still Zo. I don't know why he didn't ult to go after someone there.
He might have used it in the river. It might have just come out. Then again, it is a very short cooldown. Oh no, it's level 2. Did he misclick? He only has level 2 ultimate. This Rax is going to go down mid. TC does eventually pop his ult, running in to try to chase off here, but that's 2 melee Racks down. The Bear is still kind of in the fray, getting shackled. TC is going to get roared as well. Demon pretty much on no health. There's the Blink Echo Slam. TC is going to drop here for sure. Jo very low health, stabbing himself out. Now Hannah is also going to go down, getting screamed, and the Radiance burn from the Bear will pick up that kill for Fear. And now they're just going to go for the throw on these base towers, taking a lot of damage. EG might be able to seal the game right here. No buyback from Lycan whatsoever. Enigma also out of here for another 40 seconds. And I think this is it, man. I don't think they can stop this.
Yeah, I don't think they can stop
Shackle's
this
going to latch Bulba, though. Blink in from Universe, stunning 2. IX Mike and Jo both locked down for the moment. Pipe popped, but they're just zerging down the base. The Bear's still attacking it. It's getting quite low. BKB popped by Fluff. He will Hex Bulba. They're trying to keep him off here so they can kill the Rack, but it's not going to matter. IX Mike goes in to try to get his ult off, and he will, but it's not going to defend too well. Now Jo's going to drop as well. Nice ward trap on the Chen, but Chen is solo health anyway. It didn't really even matter. Fluff and Stuff popping his Ghost Scepter, and the GGs are coming out. Fear this entire time has just been attacking the throne, and that is going to be it. Wow. That was interesting.
Yeah, EG just did that last push. EG just spaced out so well where, you know, if the Enigma doesn't see the ES, he can't really ult because the ES has a blink, so he can just blink it towards him in Fissure, and the Quap has a Sheep, so he can never really get off a good black hole. And that really won EG the team fights.
Well, I think you summed it up pretty well, buddy, but that's going to be it for us today. This is the only game that I believe that is the North American side of the Prodota2 Tournament 2 cast. I want to thank Ganked for joining me, man. Really appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
And of course, I am Draskyl. I will be casting as many games as I possibly can in the near future on this channel. It is twitch.tv/NEODotA. Feel free to follow us here. Follow me at Twitter at Draskyl. And you can also check out my personal channel when I do decide to stream on it. It is twitch.tv/Draskyl with 2 L's. But we're going to go ahead and sign off. I want to thank everybody for watching so much. Got over 1,000 viewers today. Once again, thanks to Purge as well for sending his viewers over here. That was really appreciated. So nice thing that he did for us. And we're going to go ahead and take off. So we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Into the FB, and that is a huge hit.